Hello everyone, it's Kay here on a really hot and muggy day in the UK, but I'd like to come on today to share some things that I've been making in all of this heat, and it is the usual thing. It's two things that have been inspired by someone else and then more tag embellishments because I am just enjoying making them without them being too difficult to do and just nice to put together without too much hunting around for bits and pieces. So the first thing I'd like to share is another of the Slender journals that are all the rage at the moment, and I just adore them. I really do. I can well see why lots and lots of people who like to do journals, who like to work on various bits and pieces to do with collaging and collecting bits and pieces, I can well see why they just adore making up these little albums or journals, whatever you'd like to call them. I'll just try and come in a little bit, not too much. Now I've used here different papers, digipapers that I've had left over, because that is one of the great things about making these little journals. They don't need a whole lot of large pieces of card and so on. So I've used from Antique Papery, I've also used from Artymaze. I've got another little inspirational bit here, which is my little dangle journal, which was inspired by Sparling Char here on YouTube, and I will go on to make a lot more of these. I hope those of you that saw that video have gone on to check Char out, because her tutorial is awesome. It really is. But I've just put that on the corner of this. It's just wrapped around with some satin swallow-tailed ribbon, and I've actually utilised two little finger pulls that I've put into the main body of the journal. I just think this is quite a nice way of opening up and keeping everything together. And if you just pull at these two little bits on the side, which have all been stitched in, I'll go back out again, I think. They've all been stitched in around the main body of the journal. It just gives you something to feature on as you're working with the opening and closing, and it does let you close it really nicely. For those of you who don't know, very briefly, these pieces of designer paper are 2.5 by 7 inches, no longer, 2 inches, sorry, by 7, yeah, that's the panels. And then you go on to decorate the panels whichever way you like, and you'll see I've used these papers, I've used tickets, I've used some very delicate vintage lace, I've used some Tim Holtz little ephemera pieces from a pack that I bought some time ago. And then when you turn it over, I've actually gone on this time, because I didn't like leaving dud pages, so to speak, I've gone on then to use more papers and some Tracy Fox tea cards, which I absolutely adore, and I've just added those quite randomly. I have this is one here and another one here and another one and another one, and what I did was copied them out, put them on craft card, and then basically just inked around, and then put some Stickles glue, one of my most favourite things, just to highlight the little tea cards. Now, to those who might not know them, I grew up with them in my childhood. They used to come in packs of PG Tips and that kind of thing in the old days when tea caddies abounded and grandparents used to love to have the tea steeped in water for ages, but in the packs of loose tea there would be these little cards that were ultimately collectible at that time, and they did a series of different collections: birds, butterflies, flowers, whatever the manufacturer of the tea felt would have people collecting them and saving them. So had I been able to transport myself back there, I could have picked up my grandma's stash, which was quite formidable because they were huge tea drinkers, and of course anything like that was considered a hobby in that time. So, you know, I don't want to waffle on, but basically when I saw them becoming on trend again for journal making and so on, I just had to go and get some, and there are several different styles available. I then used some more of the Tim Holtz little bits of ephemera and just stuck those atop the already very decorative papers. But I think I'm not one to over embellish, but this was a little bit out of my comfort zone, but I think it's worked quite nicely. So you've got this really heavily featured one side, and then a little bit more of a delicate look on the other side. However, I thoroughly did enjoy putting them together and couldn't wait to bring them along to share them with my subscribers, in the hope that they will be inspired to have a go at this themselves and just have lots and lots of fun, because at the end of the day that's what it comes down to. So that was that. Then I watched Kyliecoo here on YouTube. I'll endeavour to leave links to these people underneath the video, and she's been making these rather glorious little pocket journals, and I follow Mari Hop, who recently showed these, and without Marina I have to say I wouldn't have been aware of them, but I am subscribed to Kyliecoo, so I went over to her channel just to check it out, and they are absolutely wonderful little things. So you just open them up, having chosen what DSP you want to use, and again out came the glitter because it's feathers and I wanted it to look pretty. Then you open them up and you've got a little booklet for making notes in, two little side pockets here for, you know, a little bit of storage or some such that you might want to keep with you or keep handy. And I just thought, what a great idea. Very easily put together. Again, a lovely way to use up your cards, your DSP, your copier paper. You know, if you've got lots of that lying around, you can make them up with the same thing. This has been made up with a thicker, it's actually paper, or it is paper, but I use it for printing out my digikit, so it's about 80 GSM, I think, something like that. It's a bit better quality than your normal photocopier paper, and then there's no sewing involved. You just punch holes in the spine, thread through whatever you want to utilize to tie off your little journal, and then you just simply tie a bow. What could be simpler? Lovely little gift to send out, as always. Add a pen and you've got a nice little teacher's gift there. You know, it's just a lovely little make. So I did one in blue, in keeping with the blue feather, and then I did one which I inked around in the pink and just used some cream coloured ribbon to tie it off. And you know, I've done that one wrong. I'll sort it out after. They really are huge fun to put together and really don't take a whole lot of time at all. And then finally, I've got some more of the Bobbin Tags. Those that follow me will know that I did some previously, and I went on to make some more because I just adore how they come out. And this time I have used a little bit of lace, a little ribbon in the grommeted eyelet there, and then some sayings. Everything begins with that first small step. I don't recall where I got these from. I really can't help you in that way at all. Here's another inspiration from Sparling Char, and it's her lovely flowers that I just also love to make. Live the life you dream of is the sentiment in that one. I'll just put them down gently. Then this is a lovely blue one. Nothing is predestined. The obstacles of your past can become the gateway that leads to new beginnings. It's deep, but it is inspirational, and you know, has a worthwhile place in the quotes, I believe. These aren't named quotes. I don't know where they've come from, but I found them, printed them out, and liked them. This one is, I am going to start today right here, right where I am, which is either a good place or a bad place, depending on which side of the bed you get out of, but we won't dwell on that. And another one, this has just got seek on it with some butterflies. I've used the same lace throughout. I just chopped away at it until I had something that I felt went well with the bobbins, and laid it down really. Here's another tiny sentiment. Nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start today and make new endings, which is also rather an awesome sentiment to put onto something that you're going to share with other people. So those are my makes for the last couple of weeks, and of course I did play with my tea cards, which I really can't leave out. And I will, as I say, endeavour to leave links to the channels of the people that I have been inspired by. I just think it's so important to, you know, share your recommendations, share your inspiration, give credit to those that have inspired you, and hopefully in that instance you go on to inspire other people. So happy crafting everyone, take care, drink plenty in this heat. It's not something we're used to in the UK at this prolonged level, but you know, we must enjoy it while we can. Happy crafting everyone, bye bye for now.